Hey guys, you/John was never here. Today I'm going to read Diary of a Wimpy Kid Baking Drummies. This Wimpy Kid book was not made by me. It was made by you/Alexdionisos. I don't know how to pronounce that. Anyway, I'm just going to go ahead and read it. If there's one thing we love in Plainview, it's Drummies. You know, those chicken wings. The one Mayor Roy outlawed last year. Well, most of us in the city gave up on Drummies pretty easily. Some of us couldn't go a day without Drummies. May I please have just one Drummie? No. I don't care if Drummies aren't good for you. I want some right now. Of course, when there's any sort of rule, the kids at my school try to break it right away, and it got so bad that they had to check our bags for Drummies. After Teddy Cadwell was expelled for hiding Drummies in his locker for a month, we all just kind of figured that was it. No more Drummies. That was when I learned about the underground Drummie scene from Albert Sandy at lunch. The story was that some kids who worked at the grocery store stole a box of Drummies and copied the recipe to make their own and got rich. He said if we wanted to be rich as well, we should start to sell our own Drummies. Well, long story short, that's my backstory. I'm Greg Heffley, Drummie Master of Plainview Middle School. It isn't easy being the top drumming maker in Plainview. Thankfully, I have all that I need. A place to cook, my Uncle Gary's old trailer, and a business partner, my buddy Rowley. Not even 6 seconds after we perfected the recipe that fateful day, we had a visitor. Thankfully, we were able to hide in the bathroom until Meckley went away, and that was when I found a note taped to our door. No drummies in our land. We cook here. Catch you again, we call him Mr. Alfredo. I don't know who Mr. Alfredo was, and I really didn't want to find out. That was when it hit me. I wasn't the only drumming maker in our area. Anyway, business went on for a while. Some idiot had tried using a regular drumming box to hide theirs in, so we knew we had to get creative if we wanted to remain undetected. At first, we tried using people to smuggle our drummies places, but we learned pretty fast that was a bad idea. The part we didn't think through is that chicken would smell in a costume all day. Needless to say, our first attempts failed. Now, do you know who did have the transport game down pat? Leland, of all people. Turns out those anime books he has came in handy. Leland's not my only competition in Plainview. In fact, more and more drummy dealers are popping up daily. Of course, most of those people are idiots who got caught on their first day. Thankfully, someone was able to assassinate the last big ring in Plainview, which allowed me and Raleigh to rise to the top pretty quick. Rubber! Even though we had made it to number one, I knew if we needed to stay there, we need to make serious help. Thankfully, I think I know a guy, Peter Tonibus, who runs the Papa Tony's chain. Tuesday. Last night I went to Papa Tony's right around close to try to get some help from Papa Tony. Let's just say it didn't go well. Please, Papa Tony, I really need your help with this. I'm sure someone has been in the drumming business this long, such as yourself, would understand. Do you know how I managed to stay in the game so long, Mr. Heffley? I'm not sloppy. You've been very sloppy so far. That Jefferson kid will be your downfall. Sloppy? I'm not sloppy. We have 20 drummies in the car and I can bring you. Just try one. You'll see that helping me will be worth your time. Please, you and me are pretty much the same. We are not the same, Mr. Heffley. You lack any of the skills needed to make it in the drumming game. I refuse to waste my time with a middle schooler who maybe makes $30 a drummie. Your pride will get you killed in this game. Let that be a warning to you. Now get out and never say the word drummie near me again. Fine, be that way. See if I ever buy your Chuck E. Cheese wannabe pizza ever again. With Papa Tony off the list, I decided to suck it up and ask Leland for an alliance. Turns out he wasn't exactly in favor of helping me either. Oh, and Greg, if you ever think of coming here again, you will die. Realizing I had no choice, I called Rowley and told him we were on our own. Rowley, we need to cook. Now. Wednesday. Holy this is getting ugly fast. Rowley and I had an order for 500 drummies, which would made us $30,000 since we charged $60 a wing. Not 30 like Papa Tony claimed. We arrived at the address, loaded our bags with as many drummies as we could, and headed in. To our surprise, there was nobody in the room except Baby Gibson. I was starting to think this was a prank of some sort until I found a piece of paper. Give Gibson the drummies. Once he has them, I'll give you your money. From Slick. Slick? That name rings a bell, but I can't tell from where, which is the problem. See, rule 1 of Drummies is, if you don't feel 100% sure, GTFO. I was calculating a plan on how to get out of there without giving Gibson any of our drummies, but also getting our money when, well, what have we here? Two grown men selling drummies to little old me, which baby knows is highly against the law. It would be a real shame if baby had to call for the. I should have guessed there'd be sting ops, but I never would have guessed we'd be the ones walking right into one. We were able to make it back to the RV without the police catching on to us, but to be honest, that whole sting had us shook. One slip up and bam, you're in prison. And let me tell you, they do not like drummy dealers in Plainview County Prison. Drummy dummy! That was when Raleigh suggested we get his dad to protect us from legal trouble. First off, I had no idea Mr. Jefferson was a lawyer. Second, Mr. Jefferson is the last person who needs to know about our drummy business. He'd probably have me shipped off and get Raleigh off scot-free. Since I wasn't really in the mood to deal with that, I made Raleigh promise that if I go down, he's coming down with me. With that all sorted, we got to work finding an attorney we could afford. I think I found one. Legal trouble? Been there, done that. Gary Goodman. Gotta call Gary. Attorney at law.